Hello, everybody. Thanks, anybody who's joining today. It's just a really quick stream. I just wanted to get something out this weekend as there's no actual video. And there was no stream early this morning or late last night. So sorry about that, guys. So I thought I'd just do something today. A quick chat, a bit of a natter, and a bit of a splatter, hopefully. And I sent out a few links to people. So let's see who can come and join me and have a bit of a chat today. So, but otherwise than that, I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a good week. I know Salute has just wrapped up and in their one-day event, and I know Jonny got to go down there. So, and maybe we'll have a special guest on a bit later. So that'd be quite funny. But good to see you, Sci-Fi. I told Sci-Fi I'll be going live, and he's all the way over in Newcastle there, and I understand it is quite late. I think maybe 1 a.m. there, maybe. Yeah, 1 a.m. So thanks, mate, for joining us. I know you're a bit of a night owl, so this time is quite early for you, maybe. But for my American viewers, yeah, this is sort of prime time for you guys, and I hope you've enjoyed all the coverage from Salute over the weekend. I've been watching it on Tabletop through their coverage. They had about like a 2-hour video yesterday, and watched that as I painted a bit of Test of Honor. Actually, I've been doing that at the moment, and also painting up some nice, lovely elves. These old elves from the late 80s, early 90s, maybe. From Jez Goodwin, and almost wrapped up the Wood Elf project. So yeah, I've got the Dr. Sport terrain here, mate. So that's that piece there. If you can see it, I should be able to see it. It's a nice piece to actually show off, isn't it? So big. So that's what it looks like so far, and just a few more little touch-ups here and there, and that should be ready for the next battle report when we do 40k battle report, hopefully later this month. All things going well. In fact, the Nurgle army's over there just waiting to get onto the battlefield to kill some Eldar or whatever we're going to have on there, orcs or whatever, I don't know yet. So yeah. And I thought, as there's no video today, there will be a video this week. I'm just doing the Skaven one now. I'm sort of doing the base, painting the bases, and I'm actually going to do some painting videos for you guys just to keep you entertained before we get some battle reports up again. Irish Marine, how you going, mate? Good to see you here. And yeah, so with any luck, those videos will entertain you. But for the meantime, I want to try something. I think I've done this before, and that's like stream a video. So I'm going to take you to my Patreon, where there is actually a studio update there that's free to watch. I put a link in the post section this morning, and you should be able to see it here now. So we're just going to watch that as I prepare some stuff down here. It goes for about 21 minutes, but at least it gives you the full studio update for what's happening soon. Cheers, guys. Thanks very much for coming into this behind-the-scenes Patreon kind of studio update with your red-shirted old twat giving you the lowdown of what's going on here and what's keeping me busy. Sorry there hasn't been a lot of video content recently on Patreon. I hope to change that, as now it's just full on getting as much of the painting done as I can before the teaching. If the teaching starts up again, I want to get as much stuff done and out the door to people who have been very patiently waiting for their orders through eavylead Studios. So without further ado, let's get into the table and let's have a look. Okay, so just right in front of me, I've got this Wood Elf. Well, it's a big Wood Elf unit. How's that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So it's 20 all up. It's got a lovely command group. I really enjoy this model here, this Wood Elf, like a mage. I think it's from the Chariot. And I've got another one of these guys. I'm going to be painting 3 of those soon. Got 2 more to do. I've converted the standard, so we have like the Herald Imperial Herald. I just changed that out because he wants a big banner on that I've got to do in freehand. It's going to be a real challenge. I mean, the horse, the freehand on the horse is also a big challenge, but the banner is going to be a massive challenge for me. But I look forward to undertaking that. And I think I need to do another one. Well, I need to do one for myself, and I think I need to do one for David as well. So I'll need to make a black and white copy of it and photocopy that to reproduce it many times over, I'd say. And have that on record and file somewhere. He gave me this plastic wood elf guy, and I just put a brass rod in there with the. He supplied all that, of course, and I just had to do the conversion for him. But that'll be nice to do again with that banner. The same thing from the conversion in the wood elf book. He wants the wood elves painted in a particular style, so it's all autumn colours and that kind of thing. 5th edition Morley High Elf Mage. That's cool. I haven't painted one of those. It'd be perfect if we did the Grudgedrong. I think he was featured in Grudgedrong, this mage. And some Reichsguard. And again, I've done the banner pole conversion here because the small wobbly standards just weren't going to do it, basically, for those big banners they need. Again, that's another banner that's I'm going to have to reproduce over again a few times for various other people. And with the shields, I have to put the skull designs on them, so that's going to be interesting. I might have to see if we've got some transfers or do those freehand, not sure yet. But that's for my old mate Balder in Denmark, the guy behind and responsible for Warhammer Renaissance. So it was very nice, and I was quite privileged to be able to do that for him, so that we can see those in future battle reports when he plays them in his games. Now, they're all based for the old world. Why? I don't know. He seems to be wanting to rebase all of his entire collection with old world basing, which is a shame because he could just use the base converters and keep it to the regular 20mm bases. But I can understand, even for the older figures like these Jez Gooden models, they do sit really nicely and flush within a unit when they're on that 25mm base or 30mm base, aren't they? I think these are 30mm. Are these 30mm? They must be 25. Sorry, must be 25. So I don't think they're 30s. But yeah, they do sit flush together and nothing hits each other, and they can rank up really nicely. So in that sense, yeah, it does make sense to put them on the bigger bases, of course. And no prejudice there at all. We've got some war dances which I'm working on now for the Wood Elf project, and I've got some shields which are going to be. There's a bit of blue tack on there. I've got some shields which I'm going to have to get some sandpaper to sand the front of these. I did try to file off the shield sort of brace around the outside. It didn't do it cleanly enough after I'd done a primer on it. So I need to go and get some sandpaper and just sand them down really fine so they're just completely flat for the war dancer shields. I'm just sort of prepping that to do a black spray. I'll just do the black on the back and white on the front, and for all the woodwork and stuff like that I need to do on there, and all the metallics. So, but yeah, they've been fun to do. I sort of started those yesterday, and they're in various forms of completion. I do like this guy a lot, actually. I think he's really cool with the broken arm. I think that's lovely. So yeah, keeping him in the spirit of Mike's war dancers and wood elf army, trying to do that as much as possible. There's another guy I really like with his war paint and stuff like that. So in that glorious red, but he'll have a shield on him. And yeah, looking forward to seeing those finished. I'm sure Nick is equally seeking the completion of these guys, and I've got these dudes I'm just working on now, part of the command group for the Scarlock Archers. And I think this guy's called, this guy's Scarlock, isn't he? I think Richard told me that. This guy. So he's a really cool looking model too. Yeah. So I've got those. So that's basically what I need to finish, apart from these two. Oh, which over here. And there's some these were already painted when I got them, so I'm just going to paint straight over the top of them, and maybe just put some small banners on here, on the end here, which look nice, just to give them that command presence on the tabletop. You can be like some kind of elven lord. And I do like this guy as a mage. I think he looks cool as well. So with the hand staff, and it's the palm staff, it's pretty cool. It's got like this big magical horn on the hand on the outside here. Yeah, but cool models, and yeah, look forward to painting those up as well. Okay, so if you want to see the full video, I'll just give you the link for that, guys, and you can go and check it out in full HD. You don't have to watch it through this the 720p resolution here. So I'll leave a link in the chat here in a second, or we can go to the post section as well and check it out there. Looks like 80 is going to drop in, which is great, in a minute, which would be awesome. So we get to chat with 80 today. He's up and about. He's always up in the early hours as well, given that he's a drummer, and him and his wife go out and do gigs during the weekends. So they're always up at odd times and that kind of thing. And maybe HD will come in and drop in as well. So that'd be quite a combination of people to discuss some hobby stuff today. But I wasn't expecting many people to come. Let's put it that way, given the time. Okay, let's get that link here. Copy link. Okay, and I'll just drop it into the chat. There you go, guys. So you can watch that. You don't have to be a member at all. You can watch it just in HD, and it's free to watch there over on Patreon. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Right now, I need to get stuck into this because I'm almost finished those two elven characters. There's a hero on this horse here, and he looks a damn sight better than what it was before in that video, I can tell you now. So I've been working on those on the weekend. So that's the sort of hero lord type, and that's the mages guy. And I had to do a bit of work on his staff, take all the paint off, scratch all that off, and replace it with some new paint. But they're looking a lot better now. Here's 80 here, so we'll put him onto the screen. Hey, 80, how you going, mate?
I'm all right, pal. How are you?
Good. Thanks. Yeah, thanks very much for joining us, mate.
Well, that's cool. I just happened to be awake. It's because it's oh God, what the hell time is it? Hang on, let me just have a look at the clock at the back.
1?
Yeah, it's quarter past 1 here. So you know,
it's a very good time, mate. I didn't expect anybody to join me today, but I thought I'd just do something to have something on for people to watch through the week, and so I'm glad they don't have to put up with me the entire hour or an hour and a half or whatever we're going to do for this. So we've got someone here to talk to. So that's great, 80. Did you have a good weekend doing your gigs, mate?
Well, it's been mixed. Let's see. Saturday night we played at a small pub that we've done loads of times. This is just with Jules as a solo singer.
Yeah.
And it was really great fun. And the guy who plays bass in our band came down with his partner, and we had a great time just sort of hanging out, because it's nice to do that for a change rather than just doing the band thing all the time.
Yeah,
that was good fun. I mean, that was Saturday night, but and this is the first time this has ever happened. Actually, yesterday we went to a gig that was meant to be like a regular gig. It is meant to be a regular gig.
Yeah.
And we turned up and to find that we'd been cancelled.
Oh, right.
So, and I've not had this happen with Jules. This is a first.
Right.
That we've actually gone to a venue and they've just gone, there's not enough people in. Can we pay you petrol?
Ah, right. They didn't call you beforehand or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, if they'd actually, it would have been all right if they'd even if we were driving over to the show.
Yeah.
They'd have actually said, look, there's not enough people here. Can you not bother? But I mean, admittedly, it did allow us, because they did pay us something. They pay us a little bit of compensation, and that was okay. But I mean, when I was 10 years ago, when I was out, I used to play in a blues band with a guy who was really well known around Leicester called Mick Ridgway, and he was well known as being a guy who was like the hardest working blues man in Leicester, because we could literally be out like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every week, gigging. Absolutely unbelievable time to be playing music. It was really, really cool. And so, and we would turn up to gigs and suddenly find that we'd been double booked or something, and we never got anything. We were completely out of pocket petrol wise. Yeah. So, looking at it from that point of view, Jules and I did quite well today. But it's funny to think that literally places can just turn around and just go, no, there's not enough people in. I think we've had one time when there was we did a whole gig at a venue that went really, really well. And the owner said, oh, there's not been enough people in, I can't pay you as much as we normally pay you. And so we kind of went, okay, thanks. And we left, and we never played there again.
Yeah.
And, and we weren't invited back.
Yeah.
And I kind of said, well, that doesn't bode very well if every time you go, you're going to, it's just it's that variable. But then we did have similar things happen when I was with Mick Ridgway, where we turned up to one particular venue, and at the end of the night, the owner went, oh, we're not going to pay you the full amount, even though there was plenty of people in there. Really, it just they decided. It was their own fault. They hadn't advertised the gig enough and all this kind of thing. And oh dear, it's playing in bands and pubs, and they're a law unto themselves, really.
Yeah.
But hopefully this particular venue will go back there, and this was just a hiccup, and it's not going to be a recurring thing, because I mean, if it is, then it's not great, because we've got like a gig booked in a month at this particular place, and it was like, Jules was thrilled because it was like the first time she got a residency, and I've been saying to her for ages, the one of the pinnacle things you can get anywhere is an actual a residency playing in a particular venue, but it's just how it is. So yes, and then so we had an early night, and I just woke up and saw your message about coming on, and I thought, yeah, why don't if I will offer myself as a person to pop on and say hello.
That's great. Thank you. I'm very honoured, mate. Honestly.
Oh, don't be honoured.
I can't pay you.
yeah, exactly. I'm not expecting money either. It's just
no cancellation fee either. I'm sorry. So
yeah. I had a nice thing happen on Thursday. A very different thing happened on Thursday. Yeah. Do you know a guy who is Old Grumpy Wolf
Oh
on
yeah,
Instagram.
yeah.
Well, I did a podcast with him,
Oh great.
which was really cool, and we were mostly talking about modelling and painting,
Right.
which is really cool, and we got so he's got like he's got a, this will sound familiar to you. He's got a 3-hour podcast
Right.
to edit, because you know what I'm like. I get talking and I don't shut up. You know.
Much to our benefit, lady. Much to our benefit, mate.
So that's nice. And I've actually said to him that he ought to get in contact with you and stuff, because he's a nice chap, actually.
Yeah.
Lives in Los Angeles, which I didn't realise.
Okay. Yeah, I did. I went to watch one of his videos because I know he posted up on Instagram that he had a YouTube channel and he's trying to promote it.
Mhm.
And he had a pretty eye-catching looking thumbnail. So I went on there and I watched most of an interview he had with another guy in the US. Yeah, just talking about painting or their history in the hobby, and
Yeah.
it was quite good. It was good. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I should have him on our podcast too, and vice versa. So.
Well, I said to him that he might want to do a Splatter Natter or anything, because I mean it depends on when he's up.
I'm open. Like it's an open door. Anyone's welcome to come in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
But yeah, he's So we had very interesting talk about things about that particular side of the game hobby, which is all the painting and all this kind of thing, and it was quite fun. And he went through some of my old models that I'd completely forgotten I'd produced and put in White Dwarf and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was good fun. It's like, oh gosh, those, it's like, oh yeah, I remember doing those, and vaguely. So that was good fun. But how's stuff with you?
Busy, mate. Yeah, really busy. That's why I haven't got a video out. So this week, because knee deep in Wood Elves, and that has to be finished very very soon. Because I think next week is when we play 3rd edition fantasy. So I've got all that prepared. I've got some dwarves to paint for that as well, and just loads of stuff, loads and loads and loads of stuff. So
I saw the latest video you put that I think you've just played it.
Yeah, just a little bit at the start. Yeah.
I've seen the whole of that, so I kind of figured that you were quite up to it.
Yes.
In it, which is good. It's good to have that kind of work and what have you. So
yeah, I mean it brings lots of content to the channel. That's for sure. Loads of games and hobby type videos and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll work on the Skaven one this week and paint some Skaven, paint some bases and stuff like that. So that's going to be up there. I'm just going to add my old mate Jonathan here from the States. Just bring him in. Hey, John, how you going, mate?
Hey, how you doing? You hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear, mate. Loud and clear.
All right.
We've got Eavy as well joining us from the UK. So that's
hello.
great.
Hello, how you doing over there in the land of mist and fog?
The land of mist and fog. Actually, at the moment, it's the land of mist and pitch black.
Pitch black. Fair enough.
Pitch black, because it's something like 1:30 in the morning or something.
God, it's that late.
Yeah. So this is Monday. This is Monday morning here. 1:30 Monday morning.
I know that.
I just happened to be awake and saw that Josh was coming on, so I decided to show my face for a bit.
I couldn't blame you there. I was actually bugging Josh earlier today about safe Australia. I feel safe with Mick Dundee at the helm. Oh no, this Sheila's a bloke. What are we gonna do?
Oh, I was watching that Crocodile Dundee. I haven't watched that for years. I mean, that came out like 30
the
years
80s.
ago? 35, 36 years ago. Crocodile
Yeah,
Dundee.
something like that. Yeah.
That's a classic. Yeah, I forget about all those movies. I should go and watch them. So there's some
Yeah.
shots on Instagram now that John's been sharing with me, which has been nice because. And I saw another one, a really funny one too, about it was something in America where they had like these battle cat type toys where your pet at home, your cat, you could strap some kind of harness that would shoot off rockets and stuff like that and everything. It was just crazy, you know. If you go back to the 80s and stuff, some of the stuff they had on there, like commercials and everything, was just absolutely hilarious.
They had those. Yeah, I've seen some videos where people are strapping their cats into tanks.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah. That's absolutely brilliant. And then you can press the button; they'll shoot off little rockets off their backpacks and stuff like that. Absolutely amazing. You know,
The stuff that people do.
yeah, some of the stuff they can get away with back then. Yeah, so it's lovely.
Just like how he goes downtown. You're a bloke. It gives it.
Ain't a Sheila. Yeah.
It's not a Sheila. Oh no.
Yeah.
And he's got that friend in there, you know, the reliable New York cab driver, which never existed, by the way. Only in the 80s, in their minds, did that guy exist. The streetwise cabbie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, eh? And the clip where Dundee, he walks around that building top, like there's some guy about to jump off the building.
You kill yourself, mate. What you thinking? I love that.
Dundee just walks around the corner and goes, "Hey, there you go, mate. Would you mind just moving out of the way? I'm trying to get past." And he goes, "What are you doing up here?" And he said, "Well, I'm just out for my morning walk, you know, get a bit of fresh air, you know, that kind of thing. And, if you wouldn't mind, would you just step out of the way because I can get past you and that kind of thing?" "Well, you know, can't you see what I'm doing here?" Like,
oh, I thought you were up trying to get out of get into this fresh air.
They don't make movies like that anymore.
No, they don't. They don't. That's one of the best fish out of water stories ever. Is Crocodile Dundee.
Mind you, if you ever look at if you ever see him nowadays, I presume he's still around. You won't even recognize him because he's had so much plastic surgery done that he just looks completely different now.
Oh gosh.
Which is a shame because he has such a nice character, you know, all that sort of grisly looking lines in his face and everything like that, you know.
He's been out in the sun too long.
Yeah, he's got a real leathery kind of face, and that was back in the 80s.
Is there really a place called Walkabout Creek?
Probably. I don't know. I have no idea, mate. No idea. I've never been out. I've never been out to the western side of Australia ever. So, and
I imagine that's where Big Black Bob the spider lives. The ones I've been showing you.
Well, the thing that when you see interviews of people like out in the western areas, all you see are these blowflies, just like hundreds and hundreds of them, just swarming around the presenter and the cameraman and everything like that. And every time they open the mouth, they get a fly in them. The fly goes into their mouth and they swallow them. That's dead set. Like it's just infested with flies. It looks like the most inhospitable place on earth. And yeah, unless you're out there working, like my good friend Todd, he's out there all the time. He's in Main Road, so he's like he's working with tar and laying down the foundations of piping and God knows what. So he's out in no man's land doing that, working out there. So he might even pop in today. Actually, Todd might even pop in to say hello, which would be nice.
You speak about the west side of the country as if it's still uncharted. Is that true?
Yeah, it's like Mad Max. You know, if you watch Mad Max,
yeah, I've seen it.
The desert. It's a desert. There's nothing. There's just tree. There's like shrubs, not even trees, maybe. And there's like, you know, if you get hit by if your kangaroo comes out in front of you and you hit it, you know, it might kill you. The kangaroo might just bounce off the car and just hop away. Like people have died hitting kangaroos out there. They're that big, you know, that big and strong. Like,
those are the ones they call the boomers, right?
Yeah. No, the reds, big reds.
Yeah, I thought that the other name was. I've heard an expression called boomer. It has nothing to do with the baby boomer, but they like when they all bounce. together in a herd, you hear boom, 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 boom.
Well, yeah, there's an interesting fact. There's more kangaroos than people in Australia. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
That's an actual fact.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's groups of hunters that go out there and they hunt and shoot the kangaroos at night out in no man's land, and just to cull the population of them because they've become a pest now. Because if you have like farmland or stuff you want to preserve or things like that, they'll just come straight over it and destroy it or eat it or whatever.
Sounds like logs in Texas.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, where we used to live in Australia, we had wallabies, and they used to come. They used to be like a family wallabies for decades over there. And every generation, new wallabies would come with their mothers and babies and everything like that sort of thing. But they're really nice. They're really gentle. They're much smaller. They're much more jittery. So as soon as you open the door, they'll just run off. Whereas kangaroos, if you ever see a kangaroo, they're much bigger. They're much more like the males are much more aggressive. So yeah, you got to be really wary of kangaroos because they can be very dangerous. They can kill you. So
That's what I've heard. And so the male funnel web is the dangerous one, the more dangerous one than the female, which is weird.
all right. Usually the female is always the most dangerous.
No, it's the male funnel web. You get bit from him, you're down in 15 minutes, and then you're wallaby food.
Right. Well, where we lived in the suburbs, like the problem we had with spiders were the redbacks, because redback spiders very small in size, but and they'd have that they'd have that very noticeable red mark, that red stripe on their back because they'll be completely black, and they would sit inside your roller door channels. They would sit underneath tables, chairs. The places where you're going to put your hand or somewhere like that, and you get bitten by one. I don't think I've ever been bitten by one, but yeah, you need to be, you need to go to the hospital to get like a what do you call it? What do you call it again?
Anti-venom?
Anti-venom or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, how anybody survived out there is beyond me.
Well, I've come pretty close. I've actually come, you know what? I've actually come closer to a snake here in Japan than in Australia. Would you believe? Like we live in a suburb area, and I came back one day and I just saw something behind the air conditioning unit near the front door, and I was wondering what the hell is that? What was that? And then I looked a bit closer, and sure enough, it was a snake. And my wife was inside, and I said to my wife, because my wife's got a phobia about snakes, she can't look at them. She'll just go nuts.
Yeah.
Which is really bad time because this year is the year of the snake in Chinese what do you call it? Astrology. So all the Shinto shrines have got snakes everywhere. So I'm just freaking out over it. But so I said, what the hell am I going to do? I've never grabbed a snake, never caught one, never killed one. And I'm the Aussie, mate. What
Nonsense. It's in your blood. I just wouldn't want to be there on that day where the crocodiles are having their powwow going. I guess you didn't know who died the other day. The crocodile hunter. How old was he? 39, ripe old age for a crocodile hunter, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
So who did it? Frank? No, man, you don't even want to know. Some goofy ass fish that got him.
Yeah, old Steve Irwin. Yeah. Well, he died to a stingray.
I know, and that's why the crocodiles are pissed. Is they always thought that Frank would get them.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty tragic. Actually, his reserve or whatever you want to call it wasn't so far from where I used to live. Probably a 2-hour drive from where I used to live. I've been there. I've been there when he was, when he was still alive. With his,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was many years ago now.
That's pretty cool. Still got the Does he still do his kids run it now, or?
I don't know, mate. I presume his wife, she's still living, and the daughter, his daughter. I don't think he had any sons. So maybe those two run still, his wife and daughter, because his wife was American.
Yeah.
And and his daughter's a spitting image of him. Just looks exactly like him. So whether they've got the, whether it's in her nature to do the same thing as her father, I don't know.
I don't know about wrestling Croc. God,
Maybe not wrestling.
I see people doing dangerous stuff in Florida with those things where it's like, then I find out they're protected. I tell you, if I ever saw one, I'd just shoot first and be like, no, it got hit by a car, officer. I don't throw it in the road and be like, no, I accidentally hit it with my car. I'm sitting there riddled full of holes.
I don't know where they come. Where did the holes come from?
Just get like a spiked grill with that Mad Max type roll bar on the front of the car and just steal one as you drive past. But yeah, I wouldn't want to muck around with those things either. You see things on Instagram, just like stupid people doing stupid things with alligators, crocodiles. I saw one really funny because I think in the States there was like a trend where people would actually buy them as pets. I don't know if that's still a thing.
So, yes, you can still get them as pets. I don't recommend it because, and they would end up flushing. They did flush them down the toilet, and they did find that is a real thing that happened once, just like the girl in the 90s that died of anorexia. That one time they found one living in the sewers off of the rats in New York.
That reminds me of that movie. What's it called? Alligator, back in the 80s?
Yeah, that's a good one. That Alligator's a really good one. I should review it.
Yeah. That was literally the kid throwing the alligator in the toilet, flushing it down there, and then of course grew into this monstrous, Godzilla type alligator or crocodile later on. So, yeah,
it's a good one. So now, I think the troll hag is basically complete. I got her base all done up.
So you got the airbrush working in the end.
What?
You got the airbrush working in the end.
Oh, I got it to work. So you got one thing I found out is you can't let your tip dry, so you got to swab the Q-tip at the end of it. And then my friend sat with me while I painted up the troll hag and everything, and he talked about how you you want to be up top. You're gonna have to hold it like this up top, just up top, shade, and then you're gonna start at the bottom with your darkest color. Then you're gonna go to your lightest color. And then, you wanted the names. You couldn't find the names of those channels? I thought that was weird. Let's see here. I can name through them again.
Yeah, one of the channels you mentioned, I put in there into the come up with anything. So
let's see here, because I used to have all my public, I used to have a bunch of shared channels, and they don't have that function anymore.
Okay. And Ada, you're scraping away in new buildings.
Yes. I'm sorry. Creek. Yes. I've put together some of the epic 40,000 ruins. There you go.
Yeah, they're nice. Yeah, they're good, aren't they?
They are beautiful, absolutely beautiful things.
Yeah.
I also this week I put together some of the Troublemaker games. You saw the photos, so I've got some of the Troublemaker games ones as well.
Oh,
I like those at the end bits. They're nice.
Oh, these are really nice. I mean, they are. If you compare them, let's see if I compare them. Here you go.
That's exactly the same. Yeah.
So they've got they're a nice substitute actually.
Yeah, they are, mate.
Sort of. I think the epic ones have got a slightly kind of finer in scale and finer in detail, but the Troublemaker stuff is really nice considering it's like something like £15, which would be $20 in, for 5 sprues. So they are
So I
very,
just
very
shared
affordable.
one on. I'll share these on your Instagram because I'll do it from my computer. But I shared one that I think is really relevant. This is an Australian guy by the name of Creaky Gamers, and he plays a lot of Warhammer, and he's down there. He's probably one of the funnest channels to watch for old world content.
Okay, thanks, man.
And he does. He taught me that Australians call their flip flops thongs, because I noticed that he had a picture. And I noticed they were barefoot in the outback out there. I'm like, no, there's those funnel webs running around out there, mate. I don't know. I'm obsessed with Australia creepy crawlers because I grew up on Steve Irwin.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, mate. Yeah, let's go on thongs too. Not a thong, but thongs.
Thongs. So let's see here. What
How much? 15 quid. Is it 15 quid? 80, was it 15 quid for the building?
Yes, yeah, for 15 quid for 5 of the Troublemaker game sprues, and you can do I managed to make about 10 buildings out from that, because I was determined to get as much out of the sprues as I possibly could, and really, and they also do you can also put together these kind of square buildings, which once again you've got these buttress things on the end.
Yeah, the buttresses are nice.
There's a little door there that I've glued on, if I can move it like that.
Yeah.
And they're nice, and they're not exactly, they've got the right kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Without actually being identical.
Yeah.
And the other plus point is, and of course, here you go. Here's the original GW one. So they date back to about it's the mid 90s. This would be when Epic 40,000 came back, and then you've got this one, which if I put next to it.
Mm-hmm.
You can get an idea of they've got the same kind of detail.
Yeah.
If I pull up so people can see this, get this. Here you go.
Are you 3D printing those?
No. Actual plastic sprues.
Oh, cool.
The real deal. Proper. Injection molding. I'm guessing that's how they're done. But the troublemaker stuff's it's really just really nice, because they've got their City Crusher game, which is and they're basically Orc Gargants by any other name, of various sizes, and they're great, because I love working in plastic much more than I do with metal. And these models are so nice. I'll be able to use those for my Epic Orc armies. So and they sent, and I ordered, I think it was 2 sprues, and I ended up, for some reason, I got 10 of them. So I did quite well out of that little deal. So I've got some of those in a pile that I can put together at some point. But now the Troublemaker stuff's really, really nice, and they do some nice. They do some plastic orcs and plastic. This is epic scale. Plastic orcs and plastic, like Imperial Guardsmen, if you want to call them. Nova. No.
Sorry, mate.
I've been muted.
Sorry, mate.
I've been muted.
I clicked the wrong.
Do you want to shut up? I can shut up if you like. It's no problem.
Click exit solo. Sorry, man, I pressed the wrong one.
Shut him up, for God's sake, shut him up.
Because I'm going to share that screen now. I'm going to share that City Crushers. This one.
Oh, that's it. Yes, those are those.
Okay.
Yeah, stick them up. Oh, look. Look.
Oh, those are pretty cool looking. Yeah, those Orc Gargants there.
They really are lovely. just so nice. And you get with the City Crushers themselves. Well, they're the big ones are Capital Crushers, which are what those are. Those are the Capital Crushers.
I like the sound of that. Capital Crushers.
Capital Crushers.
Oh, yeah, it's got a guide. That's good.
And you normally get 2 of those for 20 quid or something like that.
Right.
I got so that was good. And the smaller ones, which I would use as gargants, you normally buy those in 8s for about the same kind of price, and they're lovely as well. See if I don't know if you can find. Oh, there we go. That's it. And
that's what they need for 40K, I guess. I mean, seeing I'm a huge orc fan. I wouldn't mind a giant model. Okay, it's $1,400, whatever, because it's GW. But they have it the Capital Crusher. There you go. That just sounds orky. Get the Capital Crusher out here and deal with that.
Yeah, but the Troublemakers. I mean, they've got they use these guys in their own game. Where these City Crushers and Capital Crushers all fight each other. But I just think as soon as I saw them, went, well, they just look perfect. They look perfect in an epic army, and they did their various terrain sets that they do, which are also epic scale.
Yeah.
They kind of do all of those as well, and the good thing is, it's reasonably affordable as well, because I mean a lot of epic stuff, particularly if it's authentic epic sprues and what have you, can go for terrific prices on eBay and stuff. But this stuff it's really nice. Really like it.
Yeah, I wasn't aware it was an actual game.
Yeah, an actual game for it.
Right.
I get the impression it's similar in concept to the original Adeptus Titanicus.
Okay.
So, or it might not be quite that complex. I mean, I don't know what the gameplay is really like, but because I thought we'd be talking nonsense. But
well, there you go. Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought they were just kits that you buy and use in any other game. But yeah, they've actually got an actual for it. So there you go.
Yeah, they have their own thing.
Okay, nice one. Now the terrain sets I can't seem to find here. Where would they be? So it's small scale terrain kits, but I don't think there's anything on here. There's nothing.
Well, that's strange.
Yeah. So maybe they're just out of stock or something. I don't know. But anyhow, all products. But yeah, there you go. That's the Troublemaker games that 80s putting the buildings together, and then it looks like they've got a whole lot of products for them. Buying them from other companies or something for their own stuff. I don't know. Check it out. 6mm gaming. Okay, anyhow, you can go and check that out in your okay. Okay, so again, thanks to everybody who's joining. We're just having a bit of a splatter natter here with you and Holy Double from the Angry Table YouTube channel. So, Brady's putting some terrain together. Holy Double is painting up his troll hag, and I'm painting up wood elves. So, I hope you guys
is that the wood elf project you got commissioned? Somebody commissioned you to do?
Yeah, well, how it turned out was that we're getting some pretty bad interference, actually, guys, in the background. I don't know if that's me.
You're breaking up a lot to me as I'm listening. I could just about.
I hear the interference, but I thought it was him scraping on his buildings.
No, it's not 80. It must be me. Then. Hang on a sec.
It could be me. Let me.
No, I don't think it's you. It's only when I talk. Yeah, it's only when I talk. Bloody computers.
Okay, astrogram it here.
You can't also hear the music and the. Up here. See if this makes it better. Ah, the joys of technology. Oh, where's my screen gone? Did it do anything?
I still see you loud, nice and clear there. If you received a Windows update, they always mess with your sound.
No.
Maybe it's me. No, it seems to have gone away.
Okay, I'll just connect to my microphone. Oh, it's still there. I don't know. It might be my phone interference, maybe. Okay, let's see if that does anything. Okay, yeah, so even sci-fi says my audio seems to be picking up.
Astrogram it, that ain't bad.
Yeah, I wonder why it's doing that. Bugging me now. Bloody thing. Okay, I'm just going to pop out of here.
Let's see. I don't want the troll hag anywhere near the work bench unless I'm working on it because it's got that big gangly stick and I keep getting hooked by her giant stick every single time I bend down to paint.
Yeah, she's quite a beast.
Yeah, it's a way bigger model than it looks. I'm going to say it's if it could stand up to its full height, it's as high as a giant, and it's just a solid brick of resin. Yeah, it's I'd say the model itself is about the size of a Coke can. Then you have the base.
Yeah, okay.
Now I'm going to turn my attention to some of these Death Guard guys. Is it me?
Is it my audio coming through clearly now?
Yes, it sounds a lot better.
Oh, sounds like better? Okay, that's good.
There's a few.
I don't know. There's something happening in the background. I don't know what it is.
There's some clicky bits, but I can hear you really clearly now.
Okay, that's good. Must be you, HD. I'm blaming you.
It could be me. Let me go out and go back in.
Yeah, because it honestly wasn't happening when me and Eavy were talking before.
Okay, I'll leave studio and then
just go out, pop back in, and see if it works. Is it still working now? It's gone now, isn't it? Yeah, it was HD. It was John. It's his long distance transmission from all the way from the US, wherever he's from. Yeah. I did put some music on. Can you hear the music at all, Eddie?
Can't hear a thing. No sound, no extra sound apart from us talking.
Probably because I didn't press play. I'm good at this, aren't I?
Oh,
Oh,
believe
jeez,
you
mate.
me, I am not throwing stones. I'm really not. It's like I think
Wow.
what you do is wonderful. I really
Thank you,
do. I think
Robinson.
it's all great, and I'm not certainly not throwing stones about any technological problems. Yeah, this is the guy who I'm setting the PA up. PA's not working. Why is the PA not? Why am I not? Why am I? Oh, I've not switched this bit on. And you feel, yeah. So you try not to freak out in front of the audience, because then they'll pick up. Oh, the soundman has no clue what he's doing. It's like, I'm not letting
I'm going to
anyone know
talk.
that,
Yeah. Seems we've gone away, mate. You done it. You did the magic.
Hey.
Well, give
Okay.
We'll give it about
Now
5
he's
minutes.
grinding on
how it goes.
All right. Let's see here. That's done. It's just this gold trim on these guys.
You'll have to ask Paul if he wants to play a game of Epic this month, because I'm itching to play some Epic and played it all year.
You're not.
No, because I was thinking it's now April. I haven't got a game in yet. I haven't got a game of Epic, a Man of War. 40k. I haven't played 40k either. So yeah, it's time we got some games organised, I think.
Ah, good. That's really good.
Yeah. And you and Jonny are doing it next month, aren't you?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've managed. I had a long think about it, and I thought, well, because we were talking about hiring a table at a games club or something like that, and I thought about it and I thought, well, actually, why don't I just do it at my house? I'll get myself a 4x4 piece of chipboard, so we've got a gaming table. I can prop it up on something, and we'll do it here, because it'll be much nicer than trying to. I mean, if Jonny wants to record it, which is, I'm not bothered at all myself. I just want to play some games. But it's like, if it'll be easier to do that there. But I'm really looking forward to it, because I'm just looking forward to playing some games with somebody. Like, I have, particularly Epic, because I've not played it for, I just don't know how long. Really don't. Not like it must be 25 years at least. So I'm really looking forward to playing that again. That'll be really good fun. Looking forward.
Good, mate. Nice.
He seems like a very nice chap.
Oh, mate, he's probably a hero. Jonny, he's great. I think John will be testament to that as well. Jonny Watson.
Yeah, Jonny Watson's pretty cool. Top-notch bloke over there in the UK, the land of mist and fog, as I call it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, mate. Like the weather we've had here has been so bad this last week, and I looked at the UK and they got much better weather. Jonny was at Salute.
Oh yeah, it's been
beautiful sunshine, and
yeah,
so it's been really good there. Now we still got that crackling again, mate. It's come back again. I can't believe it. I don't know what's the cause of it. Must be some gremlins or snotlings.
Let me try again here. Let's see.
Poor bugger. And it's gone again. It must be his audio setup then, mate. I think. So Planet Tobor was here, and I asked Matt if he wanted to join us, because he's also in the United States, and he went to see the new Carson Drachenfels. I think it's Castlevania or whatever the hell it's called. I haven't even watched it, but he said it's insane winds there at the moment over in Denver. Is where he's at. Denver. Oh, the 40th anniversary screening of Vampire Hunter D. Okay. Maybe I should
Is that
watch
where
it.
is that where everyone's meant to be at the moment or something?
I don't know, mate. Probably. Yeah, and I think Jonny had a good time yesterday at the Salute event.
Yeah, I think I saw something about that on the Splatter Natter group.
Yeah.
So, question for you.
Yeah, mate.
So you've not used any of the contrast paints at all, then?
Not really, no. I've only got one contrast paint and very hardly ever used it. Yeah. Why is that, mate?
I was just asking, just because I use them all. I mean, I wouldn't say I use them exclusively. I usually use them in.
Yeah.
I usually use. Do the majority of, like, if I'm painting epic stuff, I'll use them to paint the majority of an epic model, and if I want to add any details, I'll normally use regular paint after that. I'll usually use army painter stuff and what have you to kind of to add on like markings or different colours and things like that. And I just didn't know whether you'd actually ever tried them myself. I just love them so much. I think they're so cool.
Yeah. I know you swear by them. Yeah, I know, mate. I think I was talking to someone yesterday on Discord about he uses them as well, and I was asking the differences between Citadel contrast paint and express paints from Vallejo and Army Painter speed paints, and
That's right.
and he said there were differences between them. So
there are differences.
Yeah, differences in colour, differences in drying times, all that kind of thing.
There's definitely colour differences, because I had a look at the army painter stuff to see what it would be, how it compared to the colours really, and they're quite different. I mean, they all look good, it all looks fine, but I'll be sticking with GW stuff for the time being. Just hope they don't do their usual trick and then suddenly decide, oh, we're going to get rid of them now, because that would be really boring.
Yeah, I think this Lars guy in Denmark was saying that the only reason why he gets the army painted ones is because of the price. I think by the time he gets to Denmark, they're just sort of pricing themselves out of the market. I think for a lot of people,
Oh yeah, well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So, yeah, because they do it pretty hard, because they do like 25% VAT or import duties or something like that. Like
Really?
Yeah, something pretty huge. Yeah. So every time they order something from overseas to get it in or buy it in their store, yeah, they're paying a pretty hefty tax on it. And I did make progress on my Blood Angels, mate, on the epic stuff.
Yeah, I saw where you showed some footage of them on your review thing. And they look great.
Yeah.
Look really, really nice.
Yeah, just basic. Yeah,
it's all coming together, which is really fantastic.
Yeah, man, I hope so. I hope they come together very soon, because I do want to play them at some point. And my good mate and sponsor, Scott, in the States, he's helping me out with some missing bits and pieces because I didn't have like any assault troops and scouts, terminators, some extra rhinos and land raiders, I think he was going to send me. And
that's good.
what else did I need?
I mean, assault marines are like can be really difficult. Scouts are virtually impossible to find. I'm not that they're particularly nice models. They are definitely undersized, but the assault marines are quite difficult to get hold of. I've managed to get hold of quite a few, but it's taken a long time waiting things to come up at the right price and then pouncing, really.
Yeah. Oh, we'll try it third time lucky, mate. See if you're third time lucky here, John.
Oh, there we go.
All right, let's try that. I can deduce that. Is it clicking? Okay, I think I can talk safely now. I think the pickups on the mic were getting the dryer in the next room, maybe.
Oh, really? Oh, no. Okay. That's still doing it. Still clicking, mate.
Still doing. I even reinstalled my browser and updated, so I guess I shouldn't talk. Well, is there anything you want me to say before I leave? I don't want to be the clicking man.
You're just in time for Last of Us Season 2, mate. Part 2. See the clicker. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Because on your videos, it doesn't do that at all. So it seems very strange. What?
No, it shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, it's going nuts now. Every time I talk or 80 talks or you talk, it does it.
Oh, God, yeah.
It might be a StreamYards thing or just me. I don't know. Was it doing it while I was gone?
No.
Okay, I'm the clicker. All right, we'll set something up again the next time, and you have yourself a good Monday, as you guys call it, because it's still Sunday over here. Yeah. All right, and I'll send you some of those links to the channels you asked for, seeing as how you couldn't find them on the YouTubes there, because I call it algorithmic suppression. All right, thanks for having me. Have a good one. Sorry about the clicking.
That's all right, mate. See you, mate. Take care.
Oh, that's rubbish. That's rubbish.
Yeah, it's a shame, but that's just part of the technical difficulties presented when you're talking to people thousands of miles, kilometers away. But I'm surprised all the other ones had gone without a hitch, because I'm always expecting something to happen. Like the internet will drop out, I lose connection, but my connection's pretty good, even Wi-Fi. This is all Wi-Fi. So I'm always expecting something to go wrong, but I'm talking to you guys in the UK and everything seems fine. So pretty happy with that.
Just give me a second. I'm just going to go and grab some more models too. Just carry. I'll just be in there.
Okay, mate.
I mean, I still think it's amazing we can even do this kind of stuff. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, it's right, nice, mate. Hey, I mean, it's just lovely to be able to speak to somebody, you know. So, like I said, thanks again, mate. It's nice because it does get a bit lonely here, day to day. So I do enjoy talking. That's why I use Discord a lot, because I'm always talking to people.
Yeah,
and that's nice.
I mean, I try to keep up with what's on. I just tend to look on the Epic one, the Epic Discord one. But that's really cool. The guys are doing some fab stuff. Really, really nice. lovely painting work, and and stuff. And it's just they're nice. They're lovely people.
Yeah, they're great guys. Yeah, so they're always producing something nice. Jim's doing a lot of good work too. Jim, he always does
Emperor Jim.
Yeah.
His stuff's beautiful. Really, really nice.
So did you guys work out how many points you're going to play?
Well, I've suggested that we go for about 2,000, and because there's a number of reasons really. I was having a look on. I can't remember. I think it was one of the Facebook groups, and they were saying that about 2,000 points works well for Epic Space Marine, because it's an optimum kind of size to kind of go for. And so I thought, okay, well, if we did that, what that would allow us to do is it will probably not just allow us to play one game, but hopefully play 2 or 3, maybe even 4. Get as much get as much games as not just have one massive one, but just kind of do a lot of small ones. And I think that would probably work best. So I've suggested we go for about 2,000 points, and no repeated company cards as well, which has no. Jonny will be orcs, so that won't affect him at all. But it would affect me and what I wanted to take. So that's okay. I'll be taking my Space Marines. So and I've got tons of that stuff painted up. So I've got loads to choose from, and that's probably what we'll be doing. And what is it? And I think those are the only restrictions really. But I mean, back I can't remember how many points we used to play when I used to play Epic, like back in the day.
Chris,
I can remember with Chris. I can't remember how big we used to go to. But then we did used to use Titans. So as soon as you add a Titan on, you can effectively add another 1,000 points onto that 2,000 points. You can immediately do that. So I've got a feeling we probably did maybe 4,000 points or something like that, because maybe have a Titan in there or a couple of Titans. But that's probably what Jonny and I will be doing, is probably aiming for about 2,000, and we'll take it from there and see what happens. And I'm really looking forward to it, because I've read through I keep reading through the rules just to sort of keep my mind remembering how they all work and stuff. But once we start playing, it'll all click in again, I'm sure. Quite looking forward to it, really.
Okay, I'm surprised you're not taking Imperial Guard.
I thought I would go with Space Marines to start off with, just because I haven't played for such a long time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, the thing is, the other thing is, it's actually nice, because Imperial Guard, I had to work up to use the Imperial Guard. I mean, when I first started playing, I used Space Marines, and then there was this particular battle report that came up, which was space. It was Imperial Guard with a unit of Space Marine Scouts in a Thunderhawk or something like that. If I remember correctly, it was something along those lines. And I looked at that, and I just thought the Imperial Guard army looked so cool. But they take a little bit of getting your head around using them, because they will have to be within they have the chain of command rule, which means everything has to remain, all the companies. It's a little bit like the Orcs, really, because the Orcs have that kind of command rule thing, where they all kind of have to stay within a certain, they have to stay close to the close to their knobs, or they do their own thing, and they're similar to the Imperial Guard in that. But I don't know, because I've never played them in Epic, actually.
Right. Yeah.
But once I've kind of done a bit of gaming with the Space Marines, I will undoubtedly be dusting off the Imperial Guard again, because because they really are my go-to, because I love them so much. It's so cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but that's a good point. Yeah, playing with Marines just means that you can just worry about the stats, not the special rules.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're so simple. They're so simple to use. And if Jonny said to me, if Jonny came along and he said to me, I'd quite like to play Space Marines. I've got plenty of Space Marines. He could play Space Marines, and I could play Space Marines.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a problem. I mean, I've done that. Part of the reason why I painted up so many epic things is so that if anyone ever wanted to come and learn how to play the game, they could just come and I would be able to supply models.
Yep. That sounds good, man.
I just wish we lived closer, man.
Yeah, because it's a 2-hour journey between you and him.
No, I meant me and you, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's.
With Jonny, we're 80 miles away from each other, so yeah, it is a couple of hours. I originally thought we were a bit closer than that, but it turns out we're not. So it is quite a distance, but with us two, it's an unsurmountable distance.
Yeah, I mean, between us, it's we'll have to do it remotely, mate. That's the only way we can do it, I think.
Actually, yes, I think that sounds like an excellent idea. I would certainly be up for that.
Well, that was the whole spark to the recreating the Epic box.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Let's play remotely and say, okay, well, let's do it with the Epic contents of the original box. So that's what I'm working towards.
Yeah.
And then, once the Rhinos and the Land Raiders are done, we could play it just with the Marines versus the Eldar.
Oh, perfect.
No Titans, no other vehicles, just Falcons, Guardians, and whatever the Marines will take, just the Rhinos and Land Raiders. That's it.
Yeah, well, that sounds good. We will definitely be doing that.
Okay, well, let's do that. That's not too far away then, mate. So.
No, that's good.
Get your practice game. We'll get a practice game in before you play Jonny.
That'll be all right. I mean, it's I've played so much Epic. I've got a feeling that once you start moving stuff around, I've got a feeling it'll all kind of go, oh yeah, I remember it all now.
Yeah, and come flooding back, like riding a bike.
Oh yes. But yeah, definitely. I mean, why I suggested that we suggested that we do that. But that's good. Now I'm glad. If you enjoyed play, I mean, I love how your stuff looks. I mean, it's because you use a very traditional. I mean, you highlight everything, don't you, when you paint your Epic stuff?
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, but it's done all the traditional way. So. But yeah, not too far away now, mate. Before that's done, just got to get these wood elves done and get that finished. And then when that big project's done and we've got that out of the way, then I can start concentrating on some other things that have been languishing, like those epic models and quite a few other projects actually. So.
Is there anyone actually watching us?
Probably not.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, that's fine. That's all right.
Four people, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. Like, of course, it's nice to have the interaction with people on here who are chatting, but the majority of people will watch it in the restream anyway. It doesn't matter regardless of what time we do these things. So. So what's your plan for this week, Eavy? Got anything because you guys just work on the weekends, don't you?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. I'm trying to think actually.
Oh, how's your drumming stuff going, mate? How are your drumming classes going?
Oh, terrible.
Oh, really? Oh, that's not good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Around I don't know if we had a chance to talk about this actually, but around September, October last year, I had a really big push to try and get some plenty more students and all this kind of thing, and unfortunately, rather than increasing, it all decreased. A load of people dropped out. New students.
Oh, really?
New students who started just had a lesson or two and then stopped, and so it's been a bit crummy really. So I've kind of let that go a bit, and just sort of like not kind of, because it's all about how much energy I have to put into a particular project. And I've got plenty of stuff, that we're working on, what have you. But with that, it just looked like, well, okay, so that's not working at the moment. So I will put that on the back burner and just leave it for a bit. I've still got a couple, and they're doing really, really well, but I'm just not worrying about it too much at the moment. I'm putting much more energy into what we're doing with the band actually, because now we've got like gigs booked up this year. We're looking to, we're adding loads of new songs and things like that to what we're doing, which has been really good. Been playing a whole new level of new things, and it's been quite good fun. But the teaching's like really fallen off, and I just don't worry about it. It's just like, okay, well, that's how it is. That's how it is.
Yep, that's it. You've got no control over it, basically, like you're saying. They'll come when they want to come, and then soon it's like orders for eavylead. There's like just a drought for months, and then all of a sudden you just get hit by a tidal wave. It's just
exactly.
It's the nature of the game.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I was going to ask you too, with the gigs, like for example, this one that just cancelled before, like how long ago did they book that in? Was it a month ago or something they booked that in?
Well, the let's see. I think those particular gigs were probably booked in about a month and a half ago, and they were booked in all in a block. For Jules, booking gigs is ongoing. I mean, it's literally, it doesn't stop for her. I've always that's always been the bit of the business that she takes care of. That when it comes to, because she's one, she's really good at it, and two, it's a funny one really, because it is an interesting thing. When I always used to, with our band, it was always my project, and I would be, I would be the one who would do the booking and all this kind of thing. And we found that in general, venues don't want to talk to the drummer in the band.
Right.
Really funny. It's just one of those things. It's like we had a guitarist who was with us at the time, and he was really funny about, like, he didn't want to do any booking, and people were approaching him with saying, "Can you come and do a gig?" He would then say, "Oh, I'll put you in contact with the leader of the band, and you can talk to him." And then I'd hear nothing, or I'd contact them and I'd hear nothing. Yeah. And I'm doing, and I used to say to Dave, I used to say to him, if someone approaches you and wants to book you, book the band, take the booking.
Yeah. It's not rocket science. Yeah.
Grab
it by two hands, Dave. Don't let go.
Listen to me. Yeah. Take the booking.
Yeah.
And but he never would. He would always kind of try and just make me do that, and it's like, and it never worked, because in the end,
too much responsibility.
I kind of thought about it for a while, and kind of thought, well, I guess they just don't want to talk to them. And taking that idea on, I said, well, okay, we'll pitch the band as being Jules's band, and we'll pitch it as it's basically an extension of Jules's solo business. And since doing that, it's taken off.
Okay, so she had a solo business first, and then you have your band as like a weekend kind of thing, gigs you do, and then you just merge them together. So she's basically
effectively speaking, they've always been the same, but from like a public perception, if you like. So that means that she then contacted her agents and said, "Look, I've got my band," and since doing that, we've just gotten a load of bookings in. And the band only wants. We made a decision a long time ago that because the other guys in the group all work, that we just go out maybe once, maybe twice a month. But generally it's meant to be once a month.
Okay.
And
gotcha.
And I think we've got about 6 booked in. So there's still scope to get more bookings in. But you have to work. You have to work around. You have to work around like other people and holidays and all that kind of thing. But John and Aidan, guitarist and bassist, they both work full time. So we have to be respectful of that. Whereas what I do with what we do with Jules is we do that all the time. We're not out every day, but because it's weekend work really. But she's full time looking to get gigs for herself and for the band, and also for us as a duo, because we've talked for a long time about Jules and I. And we've in fact done some duo gigs as well, where it's basically the two of us, and we both sing and I play a bit of percussion. But what we really need to do with that is get a proper show reel together, so we can then approach approach our agents and kind of go, okay, well, now we've got a duo as well, and it just expands things. It kind of it's another string to our bow, so to speak.
That's right. Yeah.
So what we need to do is really set aside a few weeks and kind of going, right, well, we're going to get everything worked up properly, and then at the end of the week we record a show reel, and then we can start to, so we've pretty much got a solo set together, but we want to add more stuff where I'm singing as well, because it's mostly been Jules singing lead and me singing backups, which is what we do in the band anyway. And that works and sounds great. We've always our voices work really well together, and but it's more a case of it would be good if I had some solo songs to do that she does backups for, and we've got a few songs that we're looking at to do with me taking lead vocal. And the nice thing about those is I can then use those in the band as well. So
excellent, mate. That's good. Well, I'm glad that it's that's really going well for you guys.
Oh yeah. No, it's going very well. I mean, Jules as a solo.
Yeah,
has always done really well. It's a case of maintaining momentum really, and keeping her out there as much as possible.
Yep.
And one thing I'd like to add to what we've got is I'd like to add some more lighting really, but that unfortunately costs dosh. So I'm looking into what's the best lighting that I can get for the least amount of money. I'm looking at what other people have. They often have these big side lights on like sort of like four on a stand. That kind of thing. I'm looking to get something like that, but it's a case of finding the best one for the least amount of money. So that's another little project to be looking at.
Yeah, well, at least when you get with Jonny, you can talk all about drums and.
Oh, I know that'll be really interesting, because I did pick up on that, and I thought, oh, let's John play drums. Oh gosh, okay, that sounds good. Be interesting to hear what he does with his guys.
Yeah, I love this. I love the name of his band.
What is it again?
Gay Lips.
What?
Gay Lips.
Oh,
yeah, they've got a Facebook group and everything. So I didn't know anything about it. I can't remember. I think maybe he shared something on Facebook about it, and I said, "Is this for real? Like, is this a real thing?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, yeah, that's good." I didn't know anything about it. So
sounds good.
I don't know how he gets the time to do it, but he does it sometimes, I guess.
Do they play original material, don't they?
As far as I know, yeah, it sounded very original from what they were playing.
Oh, cool.
It sounds like sort of Arctic Monkeys kind of style music.
Oh wow, okay.
That kind of thing.
Gosh, it's been a long time since I've done original music. Used to do it all when I was a kid. All the bands I was in played original material, and then I think it was around when I was around 21 or something like that. Suddenly that changed, and I started playing in bands that mostly played covers, and it meant you just worked more. You actually got out there and could play for money, right, as opposed to, because original material, they usually don't. You know, they don't want to pay you. Did your lad do any more with the drumming thing?
No, mate, no. That was just a one-off thing that down here in the local community centre, he got to play the drums and just try them out for like a little while the guys had a break. So, but yeah, no, we certainly couldn't facilitate drums where we are. Unless it's like we did look at the music store and we did look at some drum or in the toy store or whatever it was. I can't remember now. Somewhere where we saw some drums and they're like electronic drums, or keyboards or something or whatever. Yeah, so he's got some kind of musical interest, and but you know, with kids, mate, you know what it's like. You get something like that, and then they're straight away back on the Switch, Nintendo Switch, and
oh yeah, absolutely.
He never touches it. So, you know, we've had this before where he's like, oh, I want to get this Lego set. It costs like $70. And I said, okay, well, you don't play Lego, mate. I never see you play Lego. He goes, oh, yeah, you know, and I really want to play Lego. So, well, if you play Lego and Santa sees you playing Lego, then maybe there's a good chance he'll write it down on your list, you know. But yeah, still hasn't played the Lego. So his friends get more time playing Lego than he does now.
Yeah, it's funny, aren't they? Kids are funny. Kids are funny like that. It's like it's why I said to you. But you know, if you were going, if he really wanted to learn, the better thing to do is not buy the kid a set of drums. No, you get getting drum lessons. But buying drum lessons, and that's a much better investment than because I've my youngest student, he started out. He had like a little toy drum pad, and he used to just play on that, and I just taught him to read, and it's going really well. We've now got him an actual proper drum pad. But it'll be a while before we get him a kit, because he's 8 years old and he's tiny.
Yeah,
it's absolutely. Honestly, he's just. I've never had kids, but it's like you realise quite how teeny tiny these little guys are, and I want a drum kit, but you're too small for a drum kit. Even a kid's drum kit's too big, really. And it's just, you think, oh my goodness me. And the other thing is you also don't know how long they're going to stick at it, because you don't.
That's right.
I was someone who started at 17. Well, I didn't actually. I started about 14, getting really interested in it. But I got a kit at 17, and really since then, it's been all-consuming. It's been, apart from the stuff that I've done with Games Workshop and the modelling and painting and all that stuff. It's been my other kind of ongoing passion. Really, has been playing. Playing drums and playing in bands and all this kind of thing. But I always think to myself, well, that's normal, and it's not at all. It's actually quite unusual. So it's one of those things. But like I said, the trick is, and I say this to anybody. It's like, don't let someone bamboozle you into, because this happens all the time. kid decides they enjoy the idea of playing some drums, so says, yeah, buy him a drum kit. Yeah, that's like, it's a ton of money for something, for something that they might just bash about on for a night and then they'll never do anything else with. And I kind of think to myself, it's much better to teach them reading skills and stuff like that. And the discipline that comes from practice and all that kind of stuff, then you can teach them that on a practice pad without having to resort to kind of getting a full set of drums.
Yeah.
So I always say get a kid drum lessons first. It's a much better thing to do, much better approach, and will save you a lot of money as well.
Yeah.
So what does he like? What does your lad like? What has he got a particular? Has he got anything he's he's passionate about, or is he just young lad?
Pokemon.
Huh?
Pokemon.
Oh, that's good. He's got something.
Oh, mate, he knows all. That's what I found so interesting about, and maybe I was the same. I don't think I was the same, really. I couldn't rattle off all the names of every Pokemon that's in the game, in that universe. I couldn't do that, and he can just say, oh, this is this, and this is that, and this is this one, this is this one, and then he knows all the prices of all the cards, because the Pokemon cards, he's now getting into this kind of thing where it's a lot more complicated, because the games are kind of self-explanatory. You just play the game and you set in the commands and all that kind of stuff. But the card game he's getting into now is a lot more complicated. He needs help with another older guy to help assist him play it. But he knows all the prices of all the cards and everything like that, which is incredible. Which go for a huge amount of money, mate. Those cards, if you get a very valuable rare card, they go for a lot of money.
So actual money then, okay.
Yeah. You go to the stores here in Japan, and they've got like all the cards behind glass cabinets, and you got ones that are $400, to buy.
$400.
Yeah, it's crazy, mate. Yeah. So so he's really into that. Like, he loves all this kind of stuff, and so that's probably the main passion of that he has now. But of course, as you know, young kids, they change. Their situation changes, or their mental state changes. And we've been through that as well. We've gone through lots of different phases and stuff
absolutely.
Like that. But he seems to like games. Every time we play a game, he really likes that, which is good. So I like that he enjoys it. But yeah, I think that's probably his main thing. And the sports, we started with soccer, but now he's into tennis. So he wants to go into tennis now. So we got like a little training tennis racket and ball and everything like that. So he seems to enjoy it. So that's good. And it's good physical work for him too.
That's good. Doing all right at school?
He is, yeah, because he goes to a we'll call it cram school here, which is kind of like an after school for kids. They start really young. They start in elementary school, and for instance, my son was having trouble with mathematics, doing addition and subtraction, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was really cute because he'd sit there with his hands and he would count out all the numbers on his fingers and that kind of thing, and then write down the answer. But now he can just go he just
good.
Just mentally just like a little calculator, just running through the numbers. That's been really good. So yeah, I think now he was having trouble, but now he's getting back to where he should be. Because now we didn't have that when I was a kid. They just cram those kids with so much information, so many textbooks. Their bags are just full of stuff. It's so heavy with stuff they're going to learn. I don't think we had that. I don't think we had that when I was a kid.
I don't think we did.
No. They just seem to have what we had, but just times 10 now.
Wow.
So yeah, it's interesting to see, what they take, what they've got to take on, what they'll learn and be good at. So but that's his main passions, really, mate. So far,
That's good.
we'll see where the drumming goes. See where that goes. But GM Cody's in the chat. How you going, GM Cody?
Oh, cool.
He's also a musician. Yeah. What does he say there? I was self-taught. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because I know GM Cody talked about that in his interview with drumming. The teacher said he would never be a drummer or something when he did like a tryout at school. Like this a-hole at school. This teacher said that, you'll never become a drummer, and then he went on to do it himself and became self-taught. And now, of course, he became a professional musician.
Oh, it's stuff like this just winds me up. It really does.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of the things that when Jules was went to her careers officer, and he asked her what she wanted to do, and she said, "Oh, I want to do music and this, that, and the other." He basically said to her, "Just unless you're really, 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 really good, don't bother."
Right. Okay.
Shocking. That is just shocking.
Yeah.
Unacceptable. Because that is just not. That is just not. That it makes me cross now. Just sort of that kind of. How can you dictate? I'd never say to anybody, you can't.
Yeah.
You might have some people. Excuse me. Some people might have to work a bit harder. Some people, might have. I mean, I'll be the first person to admit I'm not some kind of chops monster, flashy guy who plays incredibly fast and this, that, and the other. It's just not my way and not my interest. And there's lots of guys out there who, technically can drum circles around me, but that doesn't stop me. It's not, because it's part of my journey. I'm a journeyman musician. I'm a journeyman as a model maker, and everything that I do, there's a journey here, and I'm on it. But that's brilliant. If Cody didn't take any notice of what this guy said and just went ahead anyway. And I mean, I know when I think I had very similar things said to me when I was at school. Unless you're really, really good at such and such, don't. And it's, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, does this person? I mean, a lot of the time, I think, particularly careers people, when it comes to music, are thinking like from a classical point of view, but that's not been the case for 100 years. You don't have to play classical music to be successful. You can play pop and you make a lot more money than a classical person. I don't understand it. It's not. I don't get the whole. I don't get that at all. It just makes me kind of shrug my shoulders and.
I mean, sometimes like adversity like that is sometimes the fuel you need to get to do it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like someone says, "Oh, you'll never be." I think I had one guy that some dickhead truck driver who said, "Oh, you'll never be successful at this," or I don't know what it was. I think I told him something. I was going to do something or whatever. He goes, "Oh, you'll never do that." Just off the cuff like that. Like you'll be a complete failure, and kind of laughed at me. And I think those kind of moments are kind of good, because then you get angry and think, "Oh, well, I'm going to show you, mate," and then you go out and do it. You know what I mean?
Oh well, yeah, there is that actually.
Sometimes, yeah. It doesn't have to be someone that it could be your parents who do that. It could be your parents saying that, "Oh, don't I wouldn't invest all that time and energy in doing something that I think you're going to be a failure in." but that was kind of, not to say that that's my parents, but my father was kind of very reluctant in me doing hobby. He was never interested in this kind of thing. He just thought it was a complete waste of time. Why are you doing this? He said, if you spent as much time doing this as you did studying, then you would be an absolute genius by now. That kind of thing. So he was not very encouraging. He was very disencouraging. But he had his reasons why. I know why he was doing it, because he said, just focus on your schoolwork, get that done first, and then worry about hobby stuff, painting and all this kind of stuff later, which is fair enough. That's what I'll tell my son too. But I just didn't listen. I hated school, so I hated everything about it. I couldn't wait to get out of there. So it was the last place I wanted to be. But it's really hard to shape somebody in the way you want them to be, or have other people's influence you negatively. How you deal with it, is up to you. You can say, okay, well, that person said I'm going to be absolutely shit at this, but then I'm going to prove them wrong, and then come back like Cody did and sent the tape to the teacher and said, here you go, mate, I made it. There you go, I'm a drummer now. Take that.
Yeah. Which is actually what happened. I think it can be, but for a lot of people, I mean, in Jules's case, she took this bloke seriously and then didn't do anything. And that's really sad. I mean, it's only been in the last it's only been since she kind of met me through the band work and stuff, because that's what came first. And it's only since then that she's actually realised, I can do this, and I am doing it, and I'm going out there and doing it. I mean, the interesting thing is that really, and I think this is true for most things actually, is like the actual job of being a singer isn't the singing, it's the getting the work.
Yeah,
getting the work's the work. That's the job. And it's amazing how much of it, how that becomes the thing that's the actual getting up on stage and performing, that is just fun and great and all this kind of thing. But it's the getting the gigs that's the job, and it always has been. And Jules is really good at it. So which is why I've always left that side of it to her, really.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. If you're going to have, it's a culmination of lots of things, like personality and your presence and that kind of thing. It helps a lot.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
If you're not very charismatic, I suppose that kind of thing wouldn't gel so well if you're dealing with people. So it really depends on all those kind of skills that you have.
Oh yeah,
and, if you have good people skills and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you need those because if you're as blunt as a hammer, then you're probably not going to get many gigs. You know what I mean? So you've got to have that kind of charm about you too. So to sell yourself.
That's very true.
That's what it can be a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm really happy that that's the case. That you guys got a lot of gigs then, and you'll be doing a lot more work. So that's good.
It's good. It is really good, and it's just getting stronger, really. But
that's good, mate. That's good. Yeah. Well, why shouldn't it be? Because there's lots of, well, as far as I understand, there's loads and loads of pubs and places around the UK. So there's lots of venues.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is a funny thing. I mean, it's like when the pandemic hit. We always keep coming back to the pandemic, but when that hit, a lot of people who were solo artists who were used to going out and performing were saying stuff like, "Oh, is it ever going to go back to normal?" and all this kind of thing. And I remember saying, I said, "Yeah, I think it will." So I think that when we come out of this, people are going to want to be meeting up again. Those people are going to want to do this stuff again, and they did. And some venues have survived, and some haven't. And even now that there's a debate as to what pubs are going to have entertainment and what clubs are going to have entertainment and which aren't. But there are a ton of venues. There are a ton of pubs out there. So it's just a case of finding them, really, more than anything, and encouraging that kind of a scene, because I think that's part of it too.
Yeah. But you guys probably do weddings and stuff like that as well, I take it?
No, don't do
Oh, you
weddings.
don't? Oh, all right.
Not yet. I think we've done parties. We've done we've now done like seaside work. We've done a lot of different stuff. We're not broken into like weddings yet. But once again, it's just another thing it's another one of these avenues that you could go into doing. Is more than anything, it's just about getting the opportunity, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, Jules enjoys doing what she's doing because she gets to call the shots as to the music she sings. If we did more like weddings and stuff, we might have to do a lot more requests and a lot more different kinds of stuff. But that's okay.
Yeah,
just take it on. But also, wedding stuff is something that's certainly on the list to be pursued. But it's what we can get at the moment.
Yeah, you got to talk to Johnny's wife, mate, because she works as a wedding planner or something, or beautician or something like that.
Oh, really? Well, that's interesting.
That's a good one for you.
That's good.
Yeah.
That sounds very good.
Why not?
But we're always on the. It's all these little connections that you get with people is always good.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. You might not say, "Hey, we're." Well, I mean, I suppose it's quite a long distance for you to get there. That's the only problem.
Well, if it was well, it depends. If it was a wedding gig, because normally those things pay quite well, then it almost wouldn't matter. In fact, it definitely wouldn't matter. It was just you just have to be more than anything. It's about being aware of things like petrol costs and stuff like excuse me, and things like that, because it's like, I've always had to keep an eye on stuff like that, so I'm aware of how much my car costs to run, pence per mile kind of thing, and I can work it all out. And if you know that kind of thing, then it's easy. Actually, it's people often have often said things to me in the past like, oh yeah, you go out and gig, well, all your money goes on petrol, and actually it doesn't. Because it really doesn't at all. But it is a distance. I mean, if we had to, But then we did a gig a couple of weekends back where we played at Mablethorpe, which is a seaside venue, and that's 100 miles away. And so that was a 200-mile round trip. Fine. I mean, actually, and it was more than anything, it was an easy drive because it was up a bunch of like A roads and motorways and stuff, and so it was actually very easy to just hop on those and drive, and it was an easy drive. So you start to think, actually, because originally we would drive 50 miles to a venue, and that felt like as far as we want to go. And now we're looking at 100 miles, and a lot of artists and stuff that we know, a lot of solo artists and stuff, they'll travel across the country to do performances. Because it's just you go where the work is.
Yeah, that's it. That's true, mate. You've got to go where the work is in demand for you guys. So that makes total sense. Like any kind of industry where you're in the service industry, you just got to go. Like my wife does the same. Just got to goes where the gigs are.
Because what does your wife do again? She does.
She's a kimono teacher. So like, she has her full license to. It's hard to explain, but basically, fit kimonos on people. So if there's a wedding or there's like wedding photos, usually not at the actual wedding itself, but the wedding photos, she will find a matching kimono and fit it onto the lady or men. There's like a process they're going to do to get them all kitted out in the kimono.
Because those things are quite traditional. I suppose there's a lot of traditional rules and things like that to wear and things like that.
Yeah, there's a certain way of doing it. I got my kimono fitted on when I had my wedding, and because it's like a two-piece, you got like the jacket, you got like a under garment that sort of wraps around your body, and you sort of tie it off at the side here. Then you got like a jacket that's fitted over, and then you got the the samurai style skirt that you wear.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's really interesting. But for women, of course, it's a completely different thing. It's a much more elaborate kind of setup for them. So it's completely different to the men. But yeah, you'll have like 3 or 4 people working on you, like dressing you. The girls, they have to work hard during those kind of times. But yeah, it's something that she's been doing for a very long time.
Yeah. And
now we're just getting into doing teaching for kids. So we're sort of expanding her company into teaching now. Yeah. So I'm obviously the teacher, the English teacher, and I teach my son and his friends, and so we're starting that now. So that's been going really good.
Oh, that's really good. That sounds fab.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's been nice. Cool. It's been really good. Yeah, because they're lovely little kids and so well behaved and so nice together. And my son loves it because he gets his friends over to our house and they get to play and do things together. So it's a good win-win actually for us, and they get to learn a bit of English, at the same time, which is lovely.
That is good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's worked out well, mate. Yeah. Yeah, certainly keeping me busy. That's for sure.
Oh, good. That's the important thing.
Yeah, mate.
I think I'm going to have to think about dropping and dropping out. Actually, is there anyone else who's going to be dropping in with you?
Nah, I think I'm going to call it there too. I don't know how long we've been today. We've been pretty well actually.
Well, it's been
over 2 hours. 2 hours, mate. Yeah,
I dropped in. You were going about 15 minutes or something.
About that, I think, yeah. About 10 minutes or so, 10-15 minutes. So I thought I'd give it a shot, go solo if I had to. But thank you so much, Eavy, for coming in, mate. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's given us a chance to catch up on a few things. So probably it'd be great to have good to have a talk to you about. Because we haven't had a chance, because we normally, when we do these things, there's other people. And I want to hear what they've got to say. It's like
yeah. And I actually did these. I was going to do these on a sort of a morning or afternoon basis, so you can actually jump in, because I know you're always working. But now I know you only work once a month. You're doing these gigs once a month. Maybe there's more chances where I can ask you to say which days are you available, which nights or whatever. Okay.
Well, the thing is that that's true for the band. With Jules, who are out every weekend. That's the thing to...
Right, you're still out every weekend.
Yeah,
okay.
Every weekend. It's the band that's only out once a month. But for the rest of the time, Jules is out. She's out every weekend, usually twice. It's usually... this month, for example, we've got gigs. We've got 8 gigs twice in a weekend. Either it's usually Saturday and Sunday.
Right, that's good.
For me, the best times are usually is my morning and lunchtime. Really, is around when I'm around the most. So for me though, I just love listening. I've sometimes I've always listened to the Splatter Natters, even if I can't take part. I always listen to them because there's always interesting stuff to be talked about. So
yeah,
I still like to pop in. I still like to pop in and still like to pop in as much as I can. So
yeah, good on you, mate. Okay, well, we'll have to see. Well, you're in our group chat anyway, so you'll get to see what times and what days we're doing it. And then I'm hoping Matt can join us. I've added Matt in there, and also James in Japan here as well from JBC Paints. I've added him as well. So, yeah, we might have some other interesting voices in the future that you can listen to, mate, if you can't be a part of it. But yeah, I'm always welcome and open to have people come in and have a natter as we splatter, as we say.
Exactly. Fantastic, Pat. All right, well,
Okay,
I shall say goodbye and have a good one, and I will see you later.
Okay, let's go. Okay, Eddie, take care, mate. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Okay, see you guys.